Season. Good morning, Kevin.
Morning, Sully. How you doing today?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us. Great sports weekend we got going on here. What's your highlight for the weekend?
My highlight for the weekend? I'm actually going to cut the grass, I think.
That's the highlight of the weekend?
Well, it's got to get done. Right now, you kind of threw me a curveball already, but no, we'll spend some time with the family and the kids and everything. So, we finally have a weekend where we do not have a game. So
there you go.
We're going to take advantage of that in any way we can.
Exactly. We got great weather for it. Do a little barbecuing tomorrow?
Absolutely. That's the game plan right now.
Let's talk a little high school baseball, Kevin. And 3 out of the 6 overall group champions were from South Jersey. Pretty good showing by the South Jersey baseball teams.
Absolutely, and this was a great year for South Jersey baseball on a whole, and I think looking back on a few things, and when you go back over stuff and you see the results happening, Billy Kern from Mainland really had a great point when he kind of said to me in a text that they should have reseeded because some of the best baseball teams in the state of New Jersey were not playing that weekend because South Jersey was so strong. And I had to agree with them because, there's some teams in South Jersey that went up against, a Highland team that goes up against Ocean City, a Clearview team that didn't get to the final. And, there's some very top, really, really good baseball teams this year that, just didn't get a chance that I think would have beat some North Jersey teams. So, like you said, a great year for South Jersey baseball. And, to bring home 3 championships out of the 5 that the South Jersey teams were competing in on last Saturday, was a tremendous accomplishment for the region.
Yeah, we didn't really talk too much yet about West Deptford and Holy Cross. Any surprise there? I mean, we knew West Deptford was one of the top teams in Group 2 in South Jersey, so I don't think there's too much of a surprise there that they won that championship. How about Holy Cross?
Holy Cross is a kind of a team that I think, despite the fact that it won, I believe it ended up winning 25, 26 games, kind of went under the radar a little bit as far as the way people were talking about them. They're playing in non-public B, the smaller side of things, and A always kind of is kind of like the monster, and B kind of just sits back and just goes about its business. But Holy Cross had a very, very good season, and to win the first championship, that's a program that's had some very good players through the years. You go back, just off the top of my head, Ryan Lazinski played at Holy Cross and was a draft pick, I believe, in the supplemental first round. And most recently, a kid, Greg Zagunis, who's now at AA. And Holy Cross baseball is very good. And I think Steve Paolini does a great job there. They get the kids in there, they play under the system. They don't do anything, too flashy, but they get the job done. And here you go, they get a state championship. So, like I said, Holy Cross had himself a really, really nice season, and they should be really proud of their accomplishment.
Kevin, I thought one of the really cool stories of the baseball season was Pennsville winning the championship, and everybody knows they had that young man who was involved in the car accident, and got to be a great thing for that town and that program to bring home the title.
Yeah, I think, once that happened and the school year began again, that kind of became a rallying point for them. And they did an awful lot of things, I think, that maybe they wouldn't have done if they didn't have that kind of motivation. But Pennsville is, as far as the baseball program is concerned, Pennsville baseball has been very solid. And, they've been a solid Group 1 program for years. There was a point where they kind of flip-flop between 1 and 2 for a little bit, but they've always been a very, very good baseball program. And like I said, another kind of team that kind of is under the radar down next to the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Not a whole lot of attention being really paid to it during the course of the season. But come tournament time, most seasons they are extremely difficult to beat. They don't play the strongest schedule in the Tri-County Classic, but they do play some teams that get themselves tournament ready. And even with losses this year, twice to Gloucester Catholic, and I believe they lost to Clearview. They were a team that when it came time for the tournament, they had enough games under their belt that they weren't going to just be one and done. They were a team that was capable of scratching together some runs, playing some good defense, and doing what it took to win a baseball game. And when the tournament comes, sometimes games may not be the prettiest in the world, but it's a matter of win in advance, survive in advance. And Pennsville was a team that was able to do that, and comes home with another state championship.
Kevin, anything surprise you in the state playoffs as far as baseball was concerned?
I don't know about surprise me. I was kind of, in a way, I guess I was kind of a little disappointed in what I saw in Ocean City in the state final. I really thought, that was a baseball team that had everything going for it, and things just kind of unraveled for them real quickly in that state final. And obviously, like Craig Mensinger said after the game there, you got to give a little bit of the credit to Northern Highlands. That was a team that, I don't think anybody out there knew anything about. So obviously they think, with Ocean City playing as well as it had, that, Ocean City's just going to come right in and just, with Sean Mooney and just, destroy a team, because they had been playing so well. And you got to remember that team has probably played exceptionally well during the course of the season too, but we just didn't know about it. But a little disappointed, I guess, in what I saw that day, because obviously I'd seen Ocean City play several times in the last couple of weeks and thought very highly of them, and really thought that was a team that had everything going for it. And but just on that particular day, they just didn't have it. And that's kind of the way baseball goes. And one mistake here or there can ultimately end up with a loss. And it's a shame it had to be in that particular game in the state final, but. Ocean City had itself an exceptional season and just ran into a team that was just a little bit better than itself in the state final.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, we're talking with Kevin Minnick of the Courier-Post. That kid from Northern Highlands, Zach Dresden, he really impressed me. I mean, he pitched a whale of a game, and he did everything he needed to do to keep the Ocean City hitters off balance. And really, I mean, like you said, it was a tough loss for Ocean City, but you have to give a ton of credit to that kid. He pitched an incredible game against them.
Yeah, he did. And, the initial reaction afterwards by Ocean City kids is, oh, he wasn't that good. He was this, he was that. But that kid did a job, and, credit has to be given to him. He was only a junior. He's going to Notre Dame. You don't go to Notre Dame if you can't throw the ball. So
right.
That was a kid that obviously had a game plan and attacked the strike zone and really did a nice job of like you said, of keeping Ocean City off balance. And as much as you want to say, well, we didn't have a good day, you've got to give credit to the other team.
Yeah, and they got a real nice freshman, the Jones kid. He's the son of former Met Bobby Jones.
Yeah, that's those teams up north. Like I said, nobody really knows a whole lot about them unless you really, really want to do your homework. But you don't get to a state final unless you're a pretty good baseball team, or any team for that matter. You don't get there by accident. So that's obviously was a team that was on a mission and had some very good players.
Definitely, and another team that really impressed me was St. Augustine. They basically lose their top two pitchers, for some or all of the year. And what a great job they did in getting to the state championship game. And they had to go through a real tough bracket to get there.
Yeah, you really do have to give credit to St. Augustine. On paper, you look at them and you kind of shake your head, because I think as a team they may have batted. Chris Morganweck, I believe, was the only kid who batted. He batted 400 and change or so. But you look at the rest of the numbers, and they're all in the twos, and you kind of look and say, how can a team get through A and get to an A final? Essentially not really hitting the ball. And they did a real nice job to overcome their issues at the beginning of the season. When Mike Fastori went down, the season hadn't started yet, so they knew exactly what at that point what they were dealing with. Billy Chilari misses about a month with a little bit of a sore elbow, but they find a way to work around that, and they won some decent. They win games. They won games when they needed to win them, and they scratched out runs to do so. So give credit to basically that team with those kids stepping up and maybe taking on a little bit bigger role than maybe expected to when March and and the beginning of April came rolling around. But Mike Bylund did a very nice job with that baseball team. When adversity hits you, you got to. What are you going to do? Are you going to, put your tail behind, and just sit and just feel sorry for yourself? Or are you going to, attack it and see what you got and work with what you got? And that's exactly what he did. And, the future came a little early for St. Augustine baseball this year, so that only looms large for them next year with the kids that they have returning and the experience that they got. So obviously, Mike Fastori was a huge factor prior to the season beginning, but when he went down, other kids rose to the occasion, next man up, and they took care of business. So hats off to St. Augustine for what they were able to do this season.
Good stuff, Kevin. We're up against the break. Got to let you go, but thanks for joining us as always, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Hey, no problem. Anytime, Sully. Thanks a lot.
You got it. Thanks, man. That was Kevin Minnick of the Courier-Post. Always enjoy his take on high school sports in South Jersey.